Hello there, and welcome to the next battle report from the Giant's Lair. This is a 50-point game of Warmachine Hordes, Cygnar versus Khador. And to give it a bit of a tournament feel, each player has two army lists, and they're going to see their opponent's army lists, and then choose which one they think is going to be most effective. So, let's have a look at the army lists. Let's start by looking at the Cygnar lists. It's Captain Alistair Kane, also known as E. Kane. He's got a hunter and a squire with him. He's got a unit of Arcane Tempest gun mages and the gun mage officer. A full unit of sword knights with the officer and standard, and Jack marshalling a stormclad. Also a full unit of Boomhowler and Company, Lady Ayana and Master Holt, Archduke Runewood, Captain Strangeways, and the genuine Warcaster. List 2 is Major Victoria Haley, also known as eHaley. She's got a lancer, a stormclad that's bonded to her, another stormclad, and a squire. A unit of the Arcane Tempest gun mages with the officer. 5 storm lancers, Rupert Corvolo, Epic Eris, and another genuine Warcaster. Okay, and the lists for Khador are Commander Strakov and Commander Harkevich. Strakov was bringing a Juggernaut and Silas Wishnailer, full unit of Doom Reavers with the Grey Lord Escort, Grey Lord Turnian, Colden Lord, Gun Carriage, 2 units of Kazi Eliminators, a Man of War Demo Corps, Man of War Drakun, Epic Eris, and Reinhold. And Commander Harkevich was a Tier 4 Wolf Pack 50-point list, including Black Ivan, a Demolisher, a Destroyer, a Spriggan, and the War Dog. 4 battle mechanics, Kovnik Joe, 10 Winterguard with 2 rockets and the officer in standard, 2 field guns, and the Widowmaker Marksman. Let's have a look at the scenario and decide what list we'd take. Okay, the scenario that we rolled was scenario 2 from Steamroller 2014, Supply and Demand. There's a 12-inch diameter circular zone in the middle of the board and 2 objectives placed as in the diagram below. You can control the zone for 1 control point or dominate it for 2 control points, and you can destroy the enemy objective for a further 1 control point. It's worth noticing that you can't dominate the zone whilst the enemy objective is within your control area, so if you want to dominate, that has to die first. So that's the scenario, and those are the armies. If you were Cygnar, what would you choose? And if you were Khador, what would you choose? Let's have a look what we ended up choosing.
Okay, this is a 50-point Epic Haley list. Bit of fun thrown together. Might work against Khador, might not. Let's see.
I've chosen my 50-point Harkevich list over my Strakov list, in the theory that Dave has Epic Haley, and I did not want Epic Haley to remove Strakov's feat of charging first. So I've gone with armour. I'm a bit worried about the deceleration, but I might be able to do some shooting when he cripples my turn with his feet. And we will see how it goes.
Okay, Cygnar Turn 1. Most things ran. The gun mages ran up. The non-bonded Stormclad ran up. The Lancer ran up. And the Stormclad that's bonded to Haley ran up, after being allocated a focus each. The Squire ran up to be near Haley. Haley advanced and cast Deceleration. The Rupert gave Dirge of Mists to the Stormlances and advanced. The genuine Warcaster gave them Arcane Shield and advanced. Eris ran over to this side and the Stormlances ran up. End of Cygnar Turn.
My Khador turn 1. I elected to try a strange tactic of running and then doing broadside to try and thin out his front line. Unfortunately, the dice gods have let me down a little bit, and that is all I have done really. Preparing for turn 2, and we'll just have to play on from there.
EHaley turn 2. Very tempted for this to be a feat turn, but had to hold off on it in the end. Couldn't quite get enough caught in it. The gun mages advanced up, tried to take a pot shot, took out one of the gun crew. I think that was it. The warjacks just advanced carefully into the zone. The storm lances ran into the zone. Eris ran behind here. The Journeyman and Rupert just advanced up a little bit. EHaley advanced up, had to cast telekinesis to bring back the lance who'd advanced maybe a bit too far. And a bit of a conservative turn, but we'll hold off and see what the Khador response is.
After Dave didn't feat last turn, I decided I needed to push in, or he might hold me back and jam me. So I feated by Jackson, charged in doing some damage. The Spriggan killed one of the Storm Lances, the Destroyer killed one of the injured Storm Lances. The Demolisher was left without a target, but I chose something to slam, and under the new errata I don't open up. So I'm hoping he can take a good bit of punishment and hold the scenario for a minute. My Winter Guard bob and weaved with tough, didn't really accomplish anything, but hopefully they're going to be a backup wave. Although Dave's deceleration and arcane shield on the Storm Lances is proving problematic for the Iron Wolf. Hit me.
Okay, Cygnar next turn. It's definitely going to be a feat turn if last turn wasn't. And the only way I could see to deal with those really high armour Khador jacks was to try and ignore the armour to some extent. So EHaley cast telekinesis on the Destroyer,
Yes.
and the Spriggan to turn them round. She then cast domination on the Demolisher to turn him around and make an attack to open him up. Did, I believe, no damage to this jack, but they're all facing the other way. She then feated, which means next turn they have to sacrifice movement or action. The jacks then, which had no... Oh, she then cast deceleration again. I like that spell. The jacks then advanced, did whatever damage they could onto the back of this jack, did a little bit of damage to it, and the Lancer did 1 damage to its cortex. The gun mages moved up, I think killed a mechanic, killed the gun crew that was over there. The German Warcaster thought he'd be the hero, jumped over the wall, shot and hit the jack and did absolutely no damage. Eris walked over, trying to be clever, shot Harkevich, but was way out of range. Rupert gave the Stormlances Dirge of Mists again, and they got an assault order to assault in with all the assault, impact attack, shooting, electro leaping. Killed 2 Winter Guard, I think, but did knock another couple down.
Okay, that was a really bad turn for me with EHaley's feat. Totally crippled my jacks. Dave rightly moved in and caught Harkevich, stopping the jump start, which would negate his feat. So I've had a turn of pain, reshuffling, and I realise how valuable reach is, but I've tried to just put the pressure on a bit, to keep a couple of toes in the zone, tie a bit of stuff up, and just see if my armour can pull me through. Gun mages are beginning to outflank me, but my Widowmaker Marksman hopefully has got to a bit more of the soft, squishy stuff back there. Although deceleration works on friendly models, so Rupert and Eris are okay. We will just have to see how we go from now. Long live the motherland.
I like this.
Okay, Cygnar Turn. Still a lot of armour in my face, not quite as much as on feet turn, but the option is to try and deal with it by destroying it, or deal with it by going around it, and I chose the second one of those. EHaley advanced into the zone, cast telekinesis on the Spriggan to move him this way, cast telekinesis on that Jack to move him that way, and that opened up a charge lane for the Jack that was here, the Stormclad, that was bonded and had 4 focus allocated to it, to slam Black Ivan, slammed him over Harkevich, and was lucky enough to get Harkevich knocked down. Then bought another couple of attacks, but with escort and 4 focus on him, did a bit of damage. Eris then moved up and through a small gap, shot Harkevich, hit him, and stripped away the fury and the upkeep spell of escort. And actually chose not to do sniper, but to do dice -6 on damage, and did 5 damage, getting very lucky there. And the gun mages then advanced over here into the terrain and using snipe shots, sniped over into Harkevich, and dice -6 took away his last 2 health. That's the end of the game. Good game?
Good game, sir.
Thanks very much.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hi guys, this is Dave, Cygnar player, putting together this video. Just noticed a couple of things that I think it's only fair I should share with you. This clip shows where we were saying that Eris shot Harkevich to strip away escort and all the focus on him. But if you look closely, you might have already spotted she's pretty clearly engaging the Spriggan, and so shouldn't have been able to make that shot at all. We noticed that just after the game, and my opponent was gracious enough to let it slide, but that was actually the second mistake I'd made with Eris within the space of about 5 minutes. If you look at this, this is the end of the previous Khador turn, so this was the board state at the beginning of the Cygnar turn. Look at Eris again in the bottom left hand corner. She is far too close to my own Warjacks. They aren't Myrmidons, and that would have meant I couldn't allocate any focus to them, which meant the bonded Stormclad couldn't have got 4 focus, couldn't have slammed, couldn't have pulled off that assassination. Pretty embarrassing, but it's only fair that I raise it, as you may have already spotted it if you're pretty eagle-eyed. So, I think the only fair thing to do in this case is to call it a draw.